Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel General Knowledge for Success Indian Constitution Part 1. Without wasting the time, we'll start with the first question. First question is Indian Constitution was adopted by the Constitution Assembly on options are 1946, 1947, 1948, 1949. And the right answer is 1949 is the right answer. Remember, 26th November, we are celebrating as a Constitutional Day or a Samvidhan Divas every year because on this day, Constituent Assembly adopted our Constitution. Whereas this Constitution came into effect on January 26, 1950. That's why every January 26 will be celebrated as a Republic Day. Second question, Constitution originally had dash part, dash articles and dash schedules. This is the filling blanks question and we have four options. Out of these four options, correct option is C. When the Constitution was formed, Constitution contains 22 parts, 395 articles, 8 schedules. Now, at present, we have 25 parts, 448 articles and 12 schedules. This number may vary. Next question. Who is the President of Constituent Assembly? Who is the President of Constituent Assembly? Options are Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Jawaharlal Nehru, Patrick Lawrence. And the right answer is Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad is the President of Constituent Assembly. Right. Now, in this slide, you can see some important major committees and their heads. Drafting committee was headed by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Union Power Committee and Union Constitution Committee was headed by Jawaharlal Nehru. Provision Constitution Committee was headed by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Fundamental Rights Subcommittee was headed by J.B. Kripalani. Right. Some of the important committees I have mentioned. Other than these committees, there are some other committees, right, which played important role in constituting the Constitution. Apart from this, in the previous question, in the option, we have Patrick Lawrence. Patrick Lawrence is one of the member of a cabinet mission. Based on this cabinet mission only, this constituent committee was formed. Right. Cabinet mission came to India in 1946. Right. The function of this cabinet mission is to transfer the power from British government to the Indian political leaders and to preserving the Indian unity, granting its independence. Right. This cabinet was sent by then Prime Minister of UK, Clement Attlee, and the members of this committee was Patrick Lawrence. Here you can see the committee members. Who is the first committee member here? Here you can see the committee members. Patrick Lawrence, Secretary of State for India. Sir Stafford Cripps, President of Board of Trade. A.V. Alexander. These are the three committee members, right, came to India to transfer the power to Indian politicians. This is very important for examination. The next question is, Assembly met for the first time in New Delhi on. The Constituent Assembly met for the first time in 9th December 1946. This is the first time or first session took place after forming Constituent Committee. Right, in detail. Here you can see on 6th December 1946, the formation of constituent assembly take place, right, according to France practice. Whereas 9th December, on 9th December 1946, first meeting was held and Sachidananda Sinha became temporary president. Temporary president. Then 11th December 1946, session took place and Rajendra Prasad became permanent president of the committee. S.C. Mukherjee became vice president. B.N. Rao became advisor for the committee. Right. In the member, in the house, there are around 399 members. Here you can see how many members are there in the house. In the house, 389 members are there. Total strength before partition. After partition, 299 members are present in the house. Is it clear? Okay. Then, on December 13, 1946, objective resolution was passed by Jawaharlal Nehru, which is called as a preamble, and this preamble was accepted on 22nd January 1947. These are the objectives of a constitutions. And another important thing, our national flag, regarding our national flag, our national flag was adopted in 22nd July 1947. 22nd July 1947. Who designed our national flag? Pingani Venkaya designed national flag. Pingani Venkaya. Right. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that the resolution was passed by Jawaharlal Nehru and it was accepted in 22nd January 1947. Then, as we know that August 15, 1947, we got independence. In 1947, August 29, drafting committee was formed. Right. Head of the drafting committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman, and 6 members were Munshi, Muhammad Sadullah, Alladi, Krishnaswamy Iyer, Gopalaswamy Iyer, Kaitan, Mitter. These are the members. You need to remember the members of drafting committee. When drafting committee was formed? 29 August 1947. Right. Then another important thing is here. In the first slide we are discussing that 26 November 1947 we are celebrating as a constitutional day or a Samvidhan Divas because Constitution of India was passed and adopted by the Constituent Assembly. Then this is the last meeting. Last meeting was held on 24 January 1950. Right. The Constitution was signed and accepted with 395 articles, 8 schedules, 22 parts. And the Constitution came into force. When it came into force? January 26, 1950. That's why this day was celebrated as Republic Day. Right. Now another important thing is here. G.V. Mavalankar was the first speaker of a Lok Sabha. You need to remember G.V. Mavalankar was the first Lok Sabha speaker. Current Lok Sabha speaker was Om Birla. Next question. When drafting committee was formed? In the last question only we discussed about drafting committee. Here you can see when was drafting committee formed? Yeah, this is the answer. 29th August 1947 drafting committee was asked. In some examination they may ask you that who is the chairman of the drafting committee? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the father of Indian Constitution. You need to remember when the drafting committee was formed, 29th August 1947. Right. These are the important contents which you need to remember. If you want, you take the screenshot also. From which country we borrowed writs and single citizenship? Right. We have prepared, means Constituent Assembly has prepared the Constitution by borrowing some contents from some countries. Writ and single citizenship was borrowed from option A, Britain, B. France, C. Germany, D. Russia. And the right answer is Great Britain. Right answer is Great Britain. Right. In examination, if ask you how many writs are present, means 5 writs are present in our constitution. Right. What are the 5 writs? First one is habeas corpus. Second one is mandamus. Third one is certiorari. Fourth one is prohibition. Fifth one is quo warranto. Right. These are the 5 writs which you need to remember. Then single citizenship. What is single citizenship? Single citizenship means a country will have only one citizenship. Means we are Indians. We don't say that we are citizens of Karnataka, we are citizens of Andhra Pradesh, because in India we follow single citizenship. Whereas in America they follow dual citizenship. They have to take citizenship of a state as well as a country. That citizenship is called as a dual citizenship. Right. Now, other important borrows, we have borrowed some other contents from other countries also. Right. I will show in this table. You can see lot of contents are there which are borrowed from other countries. First country is USA. What we have borrowed, you can see list of content which we have borrowed from USA. Out of this, you need to remember some contents which are useful for your examination. In most of the examination, they have asked the fundamental rights. From which country we borrowed fundamental right? The answer will be USA. Right. Then preamble, the keynote, which proposed by Jawaharlal Nehru, was borrowed from United States. Right. Removal of Supreme Court judge and High Court judge, borrowed from USA. Judicial review, we borrowed from USA. Right. Similarly, from France we borrowed liberty, equality and fraternity, which are included in our preamble. Right. In Canada, from Canada we borrowed distribution of power between center and state, federal system, appointment of governors of a state by center. These are the content which we have borrowed from America and USA. Right. In the next slide, UK, United Kingdom. Lot of contents we borrowed from the United Kingdom. Some important contents are post of Prime Minister, powerful lower house, bicameral legislation. Bicameral legislation means upper house as well as lower house. Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha at the center. Legislative Assembly, Legislative Council in state. Right. Rule of law and the writs important. This is important. Writs are borrowed from the United Kingdom. Right. Then from Ireland, directive principle of state policy we have borrowed from the Ireland Constitution. Right. This is important. Then method of elections borrowed from the method of election of a president is borrowed from Ireland. Right. Then from Australia we borrowed concurrent list. Joint sitting of a parliament session. Joint sitting of parliament we borrowed from Australia. Soviet Union means USSR, Russia. From Russia we borrowed fundamental duties, which is very, very important. This is Weimar Republic means it is a German constitution. It is a German. We borrowed suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. Emergency provisions we have borrowed from Germany. From South Africa, we borrowed amendment system in the constitution. Right. From Japan, we borrowed procedure to establish by law, procedure established by the law, and laws on which Supreme Court functions. These are the some of the contents which we have borrowed from UK, Ireland, Australia, Russia, Germany, South Africa, and Japan. Right. Now in the next slide, next question. From which country we borrowed concurrent list joint sitting of a house? From which country? Here you can see from which country we borrowed joint sitting and concurrent list. This is the concurrent list. Right, and this is the joint sitting. From which country we borrowed? We borrowed from Australia. Australia is the right answer. Australia is the right answer. Right. Preamble. From which country we borrowed preamble? USA. Right. These tables are very, very important for examination. Definitely you will get one question on the borrow of a constitution content from any one of the country. This is very important, you need to remember. Next question is, which part of our constitution is called as a Magna Carta? Alright, I told you that how many parts are present? When the constitution was formed, 22 parts were present. As of now, 25 parts are present in our constitution. Right, the options are part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Part 1. Part 1 is Union and its territory. Part 2, citizenship. Part 3, fundamental rights. Part 4, directive principle of state policy. What is part 3? Part 3 is the fundamental rights. Right. Fundamental rights are called as a Magna Carta of Indian Constitution. Is it clear? Okay. Here you can see. Part 3 of a constitution is described as a Magna Carta of India because it contains very long and comprehensive list of judiciable fundamental rights. In fact, the fundamental rights is our constitution are more elaborated than those found in the constitution of any other country in the world. Means, if you compare with other countries, we have more elaborated fundamental rights. That's why Part 3 fundamental rights are called as a Magna Carta of our Indian Constitution. Is it clear? Okay. And the next question is, which part of our Constitution is called as a novel feature? And the options are part 2, sorry, here small mistake is there. This is part 1 actually. This is part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. Novel features means directive principle of state policy is called as the novel features of constitution. As I told you that part 1 means union and its territory, part 2 means citizenship, part 3 means fundamental rights, part 4 means directive principle of state policy, which is called as a novel feature of a constitution. Who called directive principle of state policy as a novel feature? Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar called novel features of Indian Constitution. Right, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is our father of Constitution. Right, the next question is, how many fundamental duties are present in our Constitution? Options are 7, 6, 10, 11. And the right answer is 11. 11 fundamental duties are present in our Constitution. Here you need to remember that when the Constitution came into force, there were no fundamental duties. These fundamental duties were included in our Constitution during 1976 42nd Amendment. 42nd Amendment. Right. During 1976 42nd Amendment, 10 fundamental duties were included. Whereas in 2002, 86th Amendment, 11th constitutional fundamental duty was included in our Constitution. Right. When the Constitution was formed, there is no provision for fundamental duties. 10 fundamental duties are included in our Constitution by 42nd Amendment 1976. 11th fundamental duty was included in our Constitution by 86th Amendment 2002. What is the answer now? 11 is the answer. Right. Here you can see 11 fundamental duty of every citizen of our country, right? Every citizen of the country. Look at first duty of every citizen of the country. We need to give respect to Indian Constitution. We need to give respect to Indian Constitution, national flag, national anthem. Then we have to cherish and follow the noble ideas of national struggle for freedom fighters. We have to give respect to freedom fighters. Then protect sovereignty of the country, unity, integrity of the country. To defend the country and render national service when called upon to so. To promote harmony, spirit, right? Dignity to women. We have to respect the women. We have to respect religion, right? Then we have to respect our heritage. We have to preserve the rich heritage of our country. We have to preserve culture of our country. We have to protect the natural environment, including forest, lake, river, wildlife, right, etc. To develop scientific temper, to safeguard public property. We have public property, right? We have to protect the public property. Bus, for example, bus is a public property, government bus. We have to protect, right? Any building, school building, college building, parliament, monuments, we need to protect. This is our fundamental duty, right? Another two duties are here. This is another duty, right? To strive towards excellence in a sphere of individual and collective act so that the nation constantly rises to higher levels of endeavor and achievements. And the last one, which was included in 2002, was it is a duty of every parents to give education to his children age between 6 to 14. Age between 6 to 14. This was included recently in 2002. Right, age between 6 to 14. This is very important, which is included in by 86th Amendment 2002. Now, fundamental rights. How many fundamental rights are there? There are 6 fundamental rights. How many fundamental rights are there? 6 fundamental rights. These are the 6 fundamental rights: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, culture and educational right to constitutional remedies. When the constitution was formed, we have seven fundamental rights, which was included in part 3 of our article. These rights are called as a Magna Carta, right? During 44th Amendment 1978, one fundamental right was removed and it was made as a legal right. That is, a property right was removed and it was made as a legal right. Now it is in Article 300A. It is in the Article 300A. When the Constitution was formed, how many fundamental rights are present? 7. One fundamental right, that is property right, was removed and it made as a legal right, right, under 44th Amendment 1978. Right, now the property is a legal right, comes under 300A, Article 300A. Right, this is about fundamental rights. Right. Now, conduction of general election referred in which part of the Constitution? Part 15, Part 18, Part 17, Part 20. And the right answer is Part 18. Part 18. Remember, part 15 will give you about general elections, conduction of general election, authority, power of election commission. Whereas part 18, emergency, provision of emergencies. Part 17, official languages. How many official languages we have? 22 official languages are present in our constitution. Part 20. Part 20 is for amendments. Part 20 referred for amendment. For this particular question, the right answer is 15. General election referred in 15th part of our constitution. 18 means elections. 18 means emergencies. 17 official language. 20 amendment. From brief about election commission. Right. Election commission was established in the year, in which year election commission was established? In the year 1950, January 24. That's why this day was celebrated as National Voters Day every year. National Voters Day every year. And election article related to the election 324. This election commission has power to conduct election, right, to superintend, direct, control elections to parliament, state legislation, president or vice president. The local election will be conducted by state election commission. Right. Now, who is the first chief election commissioner of India? Sukumar Sen. Who is the current election commissioner of India? Rajiv Kumar is the present chief election commissioner of India. Right. Anup Chandra Pandey is another election commissioner. Is the election commissioner. Chief election commissioner is Rajiv Kumar. Which schedule of our constitution has federal list? Which schedule of our constitution has federal list? Right. And the right answer is 7th schedule. 7th schedule as federal list. Right. Now, there are 12 schedules in our constitution. A trick is there to remember these schedules easily. This is the trick. Trick is tiers of old PM. Tiers of old PM. You can see the schedule number here. These are the schedule numbers. And this is the trick. Tiers of old PM. I have written tiers of old PM. And this is the schedule. These are the schedules here. T means territory and states. E means emoluments, means salaries given to judge, CAG, etc. Affirmations means oath given to the members. R means Rajya Sabha seats. S means schedule area. O means other schedule areas. F means federal list. In the previous question, the question was, in which schedule federal list is present? Means 7th schedule federal list was present. 8th is O, official language. L for land reforms. I told you that only 8 schedules were present when the constitution was formed. This land reform was included in constitution by first amendment 1951. D stands for anti-defection. D stands for anti-defection, which was included in 1985 by 52nd amendment. P stands for panchayat, which was included in 1992 by 73rd amendment. M stands for municipality, which was included in 1993 74th amendment. 74th amendment. This is the easy way to remember the schedule. Remember, you will get one question on schedule. Right. This is the easy way. Which of the articles deals with right of freedom? Which of the article deals with the right of freedom? Options are 14, Article 14, Article 15, Article 19, Article 17. And the right answer is Article 19. It is also called as freedom of speech. Right, you can express your feelings, that is a freedom of speech. Article 14 is equality before law. Article 17 is abolition of untouchability. Abolition of untouchability. 15 is there should be no discrimination based on religion, caste, race, color, gender, etc. Right. Here you can see some of the articles important for competitive examination. Article 14. What is Article 14? Equality before law. All are equal before the law. Article 15. Prohibition of discrimination based on sex, race, gender, religion, caste, etc. Equality of opportunity in all the public employment. Article 16. Abolition of untouchability. This is very, very important. In most of the examination, they have asked abolition of untouchability, which is related to Article 17. Then abolition of titles, Article 18. These are some of the important articles. Right. In the next class, next video, we'll discuss about some other informative constitution questions. If you got some knowledge from this video, please subscribe, like this video and share this video. Thank you.